so much for tuning in to our third episode of the OddPodd. What's going on, everybody? I'm Stacy Krugger, and who are these guys again?
I don't know, but I'm casually challenged.
I think I'm RadHazard.
I'm Robbie, and we don't seem to have killed each other yet.
Hey, I'm already dead, and I'm undead.
Heavy on the yet, Robbie. Heavy on the yet. Thank you so much for tuning in, though, guys. We are going to be having a blast today. Why are we going to have a blast, guys?
We have a lot of topics.
Like a stupid amount. Like, we were sitting there, and we usually do a little pre-show where we're like, okay, we'll talk about this. What should we talk about this? Maybe this. We have a page that's just full of topics that we could touch on if we want to. One of which lit a fire underneath my ass. Before we get into this, though, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about something. Apparently, we make a lot of scrotum jokes and a lot of phallic jokes. To the point...
Stacy, allow me. Penis!
To the point where we need to have a quote-unquote dick counter for our videos when we post them to YouTube. Obviously, those of you who are downloading this, you'll be like, what the hell's a dick counter? You'll never know. But if you go and watch the YouTube videos, and we do, quite literally, Undead does a fantastic job with our videos. He'll make sure that the images say topical and such like that. But on the video, we now have to have a dick counter because apparently we make so many penis jokes. It just keeps going and going and going. I think we have a problem, guys.
I don't have a problem. You have a problem.
I have a problem with not talking enough about them. Is that what you're referring to, Robbie?
I'm just saying that maybe you don't appreciate penises as much as I do.
By chance, are you planning on going to the to Japan for their penis festival and parade around the huge golden phallic object?
I'm filling up the jar as we speak.
Wait, what are you filling it up with?
We don't want to know.
I hate you so much right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it only took us 3 minutes.
Not
All right,
even.
guys, let's give ourselves a round of applause here. Come on. All right. Oh, God. But they sent me a story, guys, to light a fire underneath my ass, and we all know exactly how much I love Call of Duty.
Right.
Not because of the game. The game itself it's very basic. It's hard to hate this game because it's so incredibly basic. What do? I'm going to walk up and shoot a bunch of people over and over again. That's it, pretty much, right? I mean, is that pretty much the basics of Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Pretty much. That and shoot zombies.
They didn't put the zombie mode in one of them, I think.
Really?
I think Black Ops 1 was the only one they didn't, if I remember correctly, or...
Oh, that's where it started, I do believe.
I don't know these things. I don't play these games.
All I remember from Call of Duty is they have zombie modes. That's literally it.
Well, here's the thing. What consists of a Call of Duty game? Not even Call of Duty. What consists of every single first-person shooter? Whether it be Call of Duty, whether it be Modern Warfare.
Shooting people?
Yeah, right? You run around, shoot everything in sight, and run away, and try, and then yell a whole bunch in a 12-year-old voice when you get busted when you get shot yourself and say you fucked their mother, right?
Wall hacks.
Pretty much.
Wall hacks. He's running on the wall, hacker! But that's about the core of it, right? Am I wrong in thinking this has been around since the very beginning of Call of Duty? You just run around, shoot everybody, and then you respawn, shoot everybody again, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the multiplayer. See, my experience was with the single player or the lack thereof.
That's something I was going to be getting to, actually. I see. Only Call of Duty I ever played on a consistent basis was the single player. Because and anybody who knows me knows I'm a single player kind of guy. I'm not a fan of multiplayer games, like at all. There's a reason I quit playing League of Legends. There's a reason I quit playing a lot of games. Really, you know.
Toxic communities are the worst.
That's about it, honestly. But when I tried the multiplayer, Pink, my girlfriend, plays a whole bunch of multiplayer stuff like that. You know, so I see it. And since the very beginning, it all seemed pretty similar. It didn't seem like it changed, right? I mean, am I the only person who thinks it stayed the same?
Well,
no, it stayed pretty much the same.
They add new modes and things every once in a while, but yeah, it's been pretty much the same since the days of Quake.
Yeah, so basically same core aspect of it. Down to the roots, it's the same, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how can Activision say they're taking Call of Duty back to its roots when they haven't changed the fucking game?
I don't know.
Whenever any game company says we're taking it back to its roots, all I can think of is, isn't that a bad idea? We want games to advance.
Exactly. It'd be great if the game would actually evolve some away from the standard, run around, shoot a whole bunch of people, scream about fornicating the guy who killed you's mom, and then going and trying again. The game has not progressed. It's still the same game. Sure, they let you now shoot some zombies once in a while, and they now let you run on the wall as a robot. And and you went to space once.
Well, what Activision is talking about here is the future setting. It didn't sell as well as they liked. Now, they still basically printed their own money, but it wasn't enough money for them. So they want to bring it back to, like modern day or World War II.
So printed their own money as in like they made it sound a lot more successful than it really was?
Well, no, it still made a ridiculous amount of money. But to Activision, it wasn't quite enough to what they wanted.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Activision is part of Blizzard now, so when they're not making enough money, that means that they don't own an entire island yet.
Pretty much. Pretty
Port
much.
servers across the globe.
When I hear taking it back to its roots, all I think of is we fucked the game up so much, we're just going to have a do-over.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it really is.
Now, when I hear taking it back to its roots, the first thing I think of is, do you mean you're going to actually have real single player again? Because remember, Black Ops 1 and 2 actually had a real single... Well, okay, that's taking it far. Black Ops 1 actually had a okay single player mode. Yeah, I mean?
Yeah.
With real heavy work on that word okay. But at least it was a tolerable point where you could say, you know what, I played for like 5 hours and played through the whole game. At least it was halfway fulfilling. Sure, it's way too short to charge $60, but at least it was fulfilling.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of games that are focused on one side versus the other. And it's really, really hard for a company to figure out how to make everybody happy. They either make the single-player game, which those of us like myself and you, Stacy, really enjoyed the single-player parts.
Mm-hmm.
We like the stories. We like, exploring things. But there's a very large demographic that likes the multiplayer. And game companies don't seem to even try to make one game that does both. And when they do, it usually fails. Case in point, The Division.
Oh, good. Yes.
It tried. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's a bad game, but it wasn't for me. And it just... It doesn't... You can't balance it. And... That's the problem. It's so difficult to balance it,
How is it hard for a company to say, okay, this team is going to work on the single player aspect. This team over here is going to work on the multiplayer aspect. We're going to let them cross resources so they know they're going to use the same guns. They're all going to work the same, blah, 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 that type of stuff. And it's going to have the same similar feel at least. But we want to make sure that the single player is going to be predominant along with the multiplayer. Why is it so hard for companies to work with both?
I mean,
money.
I was gonna say the simple fact is that games are expensive. They're more expensive than movies. We're talking, a big budget movie is like $300 million. A big budget game can be the exact same. And when you're making a, quote, AAA title, I'm honestly not sure what that means other than it costs $60.
Pretty goddamn much.
60. A lot of AAAs cost like 80 to 90.
Yeah, they've gone up.
I was gonna say they do tend to get more expensive now, especially with season passes and stuff. But they don't want to spend the money evenly. That's the problem. They tend to just pick a focus, and we just don't have the game that can show that it can be done right yet that I can think of.
You cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that focusing on both is not going to produce a shit ton of money. Because that means I would actually buy a Call of Duty game for the first time in 4 titles, I want to say. I haven't bought one since Black Ops 1. The rest were like Black Ops 2 was gifted to me for a week to give it a try, that type of thing. Otherwise, I can't think of a single one that I actually purchased since Call of Duty 1. Black Ops 1, excuse me. You cannot convince me that if someone like me who hates the franchise so much would go, wait, they actually put a single player mode in and it's worthwhile, I'll come back. How is that not worthwhile?
Well, again, it just kind of comes down to money. What are they going to spend it on, you know?
I suppose. Ugh. See, that same exact thing came down to Doom. Doom was fan-fucking-tastic. I loved it. But the single player was like, what, 12 hours? That's it?
At least it was 12 hours. And that's kind of problematic of what happens is we've gotten so used to games being so much shorter, like Call of Duty being like, what, 5-hour campaigns at best.
Oh, hi, Resident Evil 7.
I beat Modern Warfare 2 and 3 together in just under 10 hours.
That's pathetic.
Yeah, so when a game like Doom comes out and it's 12 hours, well, hey, that's over twice the current average, you know.
Do these people who are game creators not remember playing games from back on the PlayStation 1? I'm being serious. I'm not even joking. I'm being dead serious right now. Who remembered playing Tomb Raider, all these games that would last damn near a week of steady gameplay? Well, if you're good at it, you can get through it in like a day or something like that, unless you're a speedrunner. But you catch what I'm trying to say here. Your first time playing it, a lot of times that would take you like a week to get through. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair to Tomb Raider, part of that week was spending like 40 hours on one puzzle that made me slap my face when I finally figured it out and went, oh, that was the easy way.
True, very, very true. Okay, I'll give you that. Maybe we can find a better example. But one second, guys.
But yeah, the overall, it's just something we have gotten used to because of all the games. You know, so many Call of Duties in a row that have been, 5-hour campaigns, and now when we're given 10 hours, it's like, wow, this is long.
And because of the length, a lot of the player base doesn't care to play it because it is so long. They want something where they can play the game, get the campaign done, and then push into multiplayer.
Yeah, well, oh, God damn it, I hate it when you're right. I really do, because a perfect example is Pink. She picked up Doom for the PlayStation 4. And I was like, we have it on the PC. Well, I want it on the PS4. I'm like, okay, sounds good. She didn't even play the game on the actual single player for not even 30 seconds. She didn't even touch it. She went directly into multiplayer and was bitching because I don't know how to control this game when you didn't learn. What are you supposed to do? And then she would play, and she was just steady playing multiplayer. Have you played the single player yet? Oh, no, I'll do it one of these years. I went, that's Doom, not this multiplayer shit, you know?
Yeah.
I just thought of the good example.
Okay.
The Division is the bad example of a game that tries to do both and does it wrong on both sides.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is the example that does both right.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
I agree.
40 to 100 hours, depending on how many side quests you do, of single player. It's
Really?
a good story. It's in, it's a big world. There's lots of stuff to do. And
If you get bored, you can go and kill a bunch of people and then start where you left off.
Yeah, exactly. And while they haven't exactly done any more with the single player since it came out, there's enough there that they don't really have to. I would have liked more. But on the multiplayer side, where they have focused all their attention, that just keeps getting better and better. There's a reason people are still playing it right now.
See, I'm one of the very small minority that hasn't played a bit of Grand Theft Auto. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto except since Grand Theft Auto 2.
Oh, well, you're missing out.
See, I couldn't get into the whole drug dealer, like, watch me be a drug dealer, watch me be a gangbanger, and, go to kill all the cops. It was never my thing.
Okay,
I'm very guilty of. I love playing games where you are the cop beating the shit out of the criminals. Like, I can't wait to play Mafia 5, I think, isn't it? Where you play the guy that busts the mafia.
Mafia 3, though.
3? My bad.
You're actually not a good guy in that one either. You're playing
all the
a bad
previews
guy.
made it sound like you were the cop that busts the mafia.
No, you're a bad guy raising your gang to the upper levels.
Really? In that case, that's another great example of a game company doing a terrible job at advertising its fucking game.
When it comes to GTA Online, I'm a bit apprehensive because it's been going on for quite a while now, and I'm not really sure. Should I step in now, or is there a lot that I've missed?
It's not the kind of game where you miss anything.
Just not like an MMO where like
no.
stuff has happened.
Yeah, it's the kind of game where you can jump in. It's like when you've completed the single player in a Grand Theft Auto game. What do you do then? You just wander around and kill people and steal cars and drive real fast. Well, that's all that the online has at its core. And then it has like its own missions and stuff like that.
The heists and stuff like that. And that's an amazing thing that they did with that. But the thing is that you have all these core players that have been there since the game came out. They all, like, I got the game when it first came out. I remember how shitty the servers were, and I remember how it was literally just wandering around, shooting people, buying more guns, buying ammo, and shooting more people. And then I stopped playing, come back about 6 months later, and now they have these heists, they have these missions, they have these cars that you can go steal and get money for them. Like, you don't miss anything, but you have the core players that have been there that know how to play the game to essentially get good.
Yeah.
Get good, nub.
Okay, so that makes me want to try the online a bit more now. So I was worried that I'd have to like catch up on a lot of shit.
How does it link up to Goat Simulator MMO? I mean, that's really the gold standard for online games. Can we say that it's better than Goat Simulator MMO? If that's the case, holy shit, we're talking some top-notch gaming here, man.
Oh god, how long did that meme even last?
It ended?
Everyone seemed to have moved on to Harambe.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
true.
to be honest, I didn't even know there was a Goat Simulator. I knew the game, but I didn't know there was an MMO for it.
I unfortunately own it. That was... You see, there's things that just kind of come to my possession that I don't spend money on, but people are like, oh, Stacy will love yelling about this. Let's give it to him. And that was one of them that ended up. And also, Goat Z. Yeah, that was fun.
It's been a while since I've kept up with today's latest dank memes.
God, if we're talking about dank memes, we better get Oscar in here.
No, don't even start with dank memes, please. I got a reprieve from them for 5 minutes. Please, let's leave them out of this podcast, okay? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, can we all just say that Activision, you've never left your roots with your game, and you're not going to go back to whatever roots you truly think they are? unless they just mean like, you know, true to life battles, I guess.
Yeah.
Back to the old like First World War, Second World War kind of storylines, I guess.
I have a suspicion they're just talking about like not doing a future setting.
Yeah.
Give me back the single player mode, you bastards.
Like going back to real life wars. That kind of thing.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine they might even try and go back to World War II again because, I mean, you know, they haven't done it for a while.
Yeah.
You know one world war that hasn't happened in a long time? The war between King Kong and Godzilla. That's a war I want to see again, goddammit. Well, I can't help but notice it because Casual was talking about King Kong earlier before the podcast, and he brought up how Godzilla and King Kong battling was a thing, you know, and like, but at the same time was a bit, awkward. And why do you think it would have been awkward to watch Godzilla and King Kong fight, man?
Okay, well, first of all, we've had a million versions, or at least a dozen versions of them, and each one has had its own faults and its own whatever. I watched the trailer for the latest King Kong movie. It's called Skull Island, and it is purposely going to be a part of the last Godzilla movie, like the whole connected universe thing, you know, that everybody has to do now.
Which last Godzilla? The American last Godzilla or the Japanese last Godzilla?
No, the American one.
Oh.
The one with Heisenberg in it for barely any time.
Not the new one with the weird penis tail thing.
Yeah, I'll take the weird penis tail any day over the American Godzilla attempts, okay?
But here's my problem with there's two problems. The obvious problem is King Kong is and somebody I think it was Robbie mentioned that King Kong climbs the Empire State Building.
Yep.
That's like his famous thing. And Godzilla is the Empire State. He's the size of a skyscraper.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they're gonna do just a one-on-one fight kind of movie, I mean, isn't Godzilla just gonna breathe radioactive laser beams on him and destroy him?
Well, maybe King Kong will punch him in the taint.
Technically, King Kong, you know, when they do the Godzilla crossover, King Kong is a different size. Because when they did it back in the old days, you know, they were the same size.
I'm glad you brought this up, man, because I was going to ask if anybody remembered the old Toho Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah.
They had a whole versus series.
I loved it.
Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus King Kong,
Godzilla,
etc.
By the way,
versus Mechakong.
The new Godzilla is 350 feet, and the original 1954 Godzilla is only 164 feet.
Oh yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got big.
So let's assume that since they want to make it a big connected universe, that they aren't going to change King Kong's size.
Yeah.
Even without that, in order to have a connected universe, you have to have something that people want. Now, people did like the last Godzilla movie. I didn't see it, but other people seem to like it.
It was good, but it had its faults. It had a whole lot of faults. I'll wait. I'll wait my turn. Go ahead.
Right, but King Kong, it's not out yet. But I can tell you from seeing the trailer in the theater, I don't have any hope for it. It looks like the kind of movie, and again, trailers, you know, versus movie, whatever. But we have to judge now, you know, based on the trailers. And from what I've seen, it looks like a movie that can't figure out what tone it wants to take. Like, there's
Right?
moments in the trailer that are super serious. Like, this is an absolute serious thing. Then there's moments where it's like completely joking, like it's lampshading the idea of it all. Then there's moments where it's a horror. Then there's moments where it's a comedy. If the whole movie comes out like the trailer,
You got a point, unfortunately. You got a very good point. For me, honestly, when it first opened up, I thought it was a fucking Vietnam flick. And then all of a sudden, here comes the big monkey. You're like, oh, it's not Vietnam. Okay. I felt so... I felt like an awkward boner when it was done. Yeah, I mean?
Yeah,
really did.
I'm looking at the poster now, and it's like helicopters flying into an island, and it's like if you took out Kong, I would say, yeah, this looks like helicopters going into Vietnam.
Right? And
Yeah.
Oh, God.
By the way, King Kong is considered to be around 50 feet tall.
Yep.
okay,
Totally
so
just a tank
50
puncher when it comes to
versus
Godzilla.
350. Yeah. So yeah, it's problematic of what Hollywood is right now. You know, everything has to be a part of a connected franchise universe and all of that.
Yeah.
But
That's how you make your money.
Or disappoint your
of-
fans.
Courtesy of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
and
know what?
yet they did it right.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
To a point.
You yourself last podcast said they didn't do exactly right with the X-Men, man. What did they
But
do
that's
right then?
no, that's not
Yeah.
part of the MCU. That's
that's
Fox's
Fox.
thing.
I
and
figured
that's-
since it was Marvel, it was still...
That's where it gets confusing.
Yeah, that's from back when Marvel was selling off movie rights to their
Oh,
properties.
I forgot
to
about
make money.
that.
Yeah,
All right.
so yeah.
Senpai, teach me. What am I fucking up here, man?
Okay, so
Fuck you, man.
the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are Marvel, but they are owned by Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the movies, you're never going to see those characters interacting with, for example, Iron Man.
Unfortunately, although like with Sony, Spider-Man's owned by Sony. They made a deal with Marvel so they can have Spider-Man in the MCU.
Right, and
That's like a rare obsession. A rare.
yeah, nobody knows how that even happened. That was
Yes.
either a deal with the devil or God's hand. Because
All I'm
there's
saying is
no other
backroom
way.
deals and mouth may have been somewhere to get that to happen. I'm just throwing it out there, okay?
Although I will say, I saw like they recently released this video of the first like day of filming of Avengers: Infinity War, and seeing Robert Downey Jr. who plays Iron Man, Tom Holland who plays Spider-Man, and Peter Quill who plays Star-Lord. Chris Pratt who plays Star-Lord all together is a really weird feeling.
Wait, they're already filming Infinity War?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they started like
May of
quite recently.
2018 is a release date.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they released like a little featurette, but they talk about it.
Now,
Yeah.
here's everybody's going to laugh at me. I never watched Infinity War 1.
It's not even out yet.
It's yeah,
I thought, you
it's not
said
out.
I thought you said they're filming Infinity 2 right now.
No, it's Infinity War. Then there's going to be a Marvel movie after that, which was going to be called Infinity War Part 2, but
Oh,
no,
I
it's
misheard
changed.
you. I apologize. I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Now they're deciding that's going to have a different name.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
Okay, so, well, they wanted to do that because they want to make it clear that Infinity War 1 and 2 aren't it's not like Harry Potter final movie part 1 and 2. It's not one movie.
We're not
It
going to
is
get people on
legitimate-
broomsticks? Damn it!
It's legitimately two separate stories. So they want to make it more clear for the audience, which is great. You know, I'm fully behind that. So here's the question. The question related to the MCU. We've got all of these movies, whether you like them or hate them, whether you haven't seen them or not. Well, if you haven't seen them, you don't care.
If you haven't seen
But-
it, what are you doing?
Why are you
But
listening to this podcast if you don't know?
When
Apparently, they're going to say,
Infinity
why you
Wars-
talk on the podcast, Stacy, if you haven't seen them. Wow, I'm sorry. Wow. God forbid, I'm a DC fan. Jesus. Go ahead, I'm
We'll
sorry.
talk about that later.
Don't worry, Stacy. DC will get there eventually.
Maybe.
I can hear
But where are they going with these movies after Infinity War 2 or whatever they're going to call it? Because they're about to face each movie they've faced a slightly bigger threat. And at the end of Infinity War 2, they will basically have fought God in essence and fought against the power of a god.
They're fighting Zeus?
No.
Well, I'm being serious. That in the Marvel Universe, that's God. It's Zeus.
No, the Marvel Universe has lots of gods.
Yeah.
But basically,
Okay, when I think of God, I think of Zeus because, you know...
the big purple guy, Thanos, is going to have literally the power of the universe, whatever that means,
He has godlike power.
in his hand. And they've set it up well. They're gonna get us there. I have faith that it's going to be good. But what happens next? Like,
Oh,
I'm thinking maybe not like maybe like a soft reboot where they start focusing more on the new characters that they've introduced, like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and less on characters like Iron Man, Captain America.
Possibly.
To my knowledge, after Infinity War, they transitioned into the cosmic phase. You know, to the more cosmic type heroes like obviously you have Guardians of the Galaxy now, but the characters like Captain Marvel.
yeah, that's good.
And,
Like Adam Warlock.
and the more space characters. And last I checked, they have their MCU planned out until 2030.
What?
Oh yeah.
So that's why the Avengers meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy, that's actually, Infinity War, that's going to be the one transition point where you start going, more off-Earth stuff and more cosmic adventures.
That seems like that's the kind of thing that I would like in theory, but it seems an odd move because one of the things that allows people to be grounded is some kind of human connection.
Yeah, setting on Earth.
And I get Guardians of the Galaxy is great and we liked it, but part of that reason is Star-Lord. He's the Earth connection.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
And most of the cosmic heroes are, have a connection to Earth already. I mean, Captain Marvel, even though she's out there doing the cosmic thing, she's still from Earth.
Yeah, I would like to see them extend the cosmic area to like they've introduced the Nova Corps with Guardians of the Galaxy. I would like to see them actually introduce Nova, like the hero Nova.
Yeah.
Then maybe even go into the whole like Cancerverse area. Although I doubt they ever will.
Cancerverse?
The Cancerverse was basically an alternate universe where the representation of death was gotten rid of, so there was no death, and these interdimensional beings who are kind of analogous to H.P. Lovecraft's Great Old Ones took over that realm and kind of twisted all the heroes and everyone into like dark versions of themselves.
Oh.
So instead of the Avengers, you have the Revengers.
Well, when you say the Cancerverse thing, first thing I thought of was like, is it just a world full of League of Legends players? Jesus Christ Almighty!
Well, no, it's called that because instead of death, it's just kind of like life grows out of control, like cancer cells.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And also tied into cosmic is magic, which is introduced with Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited what they do with that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like the cosmic and magic phase.
There's a lot they can do with that.
Match Phase as in they'll be coming out with their cards, you know. I'll stop. Jesus.
You activated my trap card.
Now, I will say that at a certain point, we have to expect that they're going to reboot, like a complete reboot. They're just going to end, and then they're going to restart it, because that's what the comics do, and because that's just in general what Hollywood has been doing forever.
So they're going to take a lesson from Spider-Man, is what you're saying.
Well,
and that's the problem. Do we want a reboot? Like, let's assume that 2030, 2035, I don't know, 2040, when they finally run out of stories to tell that are, quote, new, and some would argue none of them are new, they're all just rehashes of Iron Man.
Well, I mean, Marvel in the comics have been rehashing their stories, like with, they just did, Secret Wars again, and now they've just done Civil War again. So they're rehashing in the comics, so they're going to kind of run out of stories for the movies eventually.
Right. So do we, as viewers that enjoy these things, do we want them to reboot? Do we want to see new actors and new versions of the story updated, 30 years down the line? Or do we want them to take a break? You know what I mean? Like not reboot, not just stop completely, but take a break and give it some time.
To me, I could not imagine anybody playing Iron Man except for
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, thank you, Robert Downey Jr. I just couldn't see it. So imagining an instant reboot with someone brand new right away without giving some breathing room, you'd feel kind of like, God, I feel dirty. You know, it just doesn't feel right. Or
They
Blonde Boy
most
for
likely
Thor.
would not do Iron Man again.
I could see them doing Iron Man if they did like maybe a soft reboot, kind of like in the comics right now. Tony Stark's not Iron Man; it's this girl called Riri Williams, I think her name is. And I could picture them heroes transitioning, like passing the torch to a new person to take up that role.
Fun.
I could picture that.
Well, at the same time, you're still gonna have the same problem though. Of they beat everybody. Where the hell are they going now? Yeah, I mean,
there was this universe where heroes actually grew old in real time, and they were replaced with new heroes. I don't remember what it was called though.
Well, okay, now, and this kind of brings up a question. So, Batman has been done a lot.
Yeah,
more than most people even know. It's been in the, there was a version in the 30s or 40s. There was the 60s version. There was the 80s. There's the Nolan one.
Adam West was the best.
Joel Schumacher.
Do we want to see that kind of one-shot universe type stuff happen with Marvel? Like where they just say, well, this is a side story where we don't care too much about,
Yeah, it's a Marvel What If.
Yeah.
Which that is a thing in comics. They have all these what ifs, and usually silly storylines. Like one of them, I remember, like probably the funniest one I read about was, what if Galactus tried to pawn the Silver Surfer?
How much can it melt for this thing, man?
Yeah, exactly. So most of their what ifs are just silly stuff like that.
Mm. Yeah, they'd have to stretch it out. They'd have to run out of the stories before they got to the what ifs.
Yeah, they would. And I think Marvel's smart enough to know don't get to that point in the first place.
Yeah. One character I want them to bring back, and I'm dead serious about this, Howard the Duck.
Really? Howard the fucking Duck?
They brought him back in Guardians. I want him to have his own movie again.
Wait, they brought him back? I never watched Guardians. As soon as I saw Groot, I wanted to kick it and not watch the movie.
He was a background cameo.
Oh, you're so missing out.
But it's a tree that talks, and it's fucking Vin Diesel.
It's also one of the best movies they've done in a long time.
Vin the Dick with Ears Diesel. Do you really? Come on, guys.
You have to stop thinking of it in terms of actors you hate, and just think, okay, just watch it.
Well, I was expecting the whole damn time for the tree to grab a car and start fucking racing around and try to like fucking rob the government or something. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, Groot is not a supervillain, so he doesn't want to take over the government.
It doesn't matter. It's Vin Diesel. You have to understand.
I never thought I'd see a wrestler in a movie role and actually like him, but I really liked Batista in that movie.
Holy crap, that's digging back. Batista?
Yeah.
David Batista,
He's Drax.
Yeah.
So good.
I know it sounds strange, but give it a chance, Stacy. Trust me.
But it's a tree that goes Groot and it needs to be kicked.
That's what they actually mentioned that in the movie.
But Tracy, but Stacy.
Tracy now.
But Stacy, he's a baby tree in the next one.
Oh, for the love of
He's
God.
so cute.
So now I have to watch him change little tree diapers? Really?
I mean, I don't
Not exactly sure that's how it works.
Maybe he just leaves little twigs everywhere.
You know, with superheroes always trying to take over the governments and shit, why can't they take over the universe and just ban the tree? That's what I'm asking here right now, man.
To be fair, when Groot first appeared in the comics, he was like one of those giant monsters that rampages around the city.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Why'd they keep that? That would have been cooler.
It might have been cooler, yeah, but I don't know. It's just like way back in the day, like when they were doing that whole phase of, giant monster attack city, superheroes fight giant monster. Groot was one of those. Weird.
You know, actually, I brought it up as a joke, you know, the whole take over the... Why is it all these friggin' supervillains want to take over the government? I have to ask this, because you look at, like, the presidents, you look at the prime ministers that go through, they come out gray as hell. I mean, insanely gray. And they don't look like they're having fun. And they look like they're pretty damn happy to be done after 8 years, at least here in the U.S. Why do they want that?
To borrow a line from the Matrix, what do all men with power want? More power.
I suppose, but wouldn't there be a point in time where they kind of go, enough?
I mean, yeah. Why would you want to deal with all of the struggles of government and stuff? And it gets worse when you stopped it. Like the supervillains, they want to take over the city, or the country.
Yeah.
But then you have what's his face? The Emperor Palpatine. He wants to rule the whole galaxy. It's hard enough to run a house.
I would love to see this. I would love to see said supervillain go, all right, I want you to run this house for a week and show me how well this works for you, okay? You try to get 3 teenagers to clean their fucking rooms and actually do the goddamn dishes.
Going off what Rat said, I don't remember where this was from, but I remember someone talking to someone and saying, you want to become president? And they saying, become president. Do you know how much power I'd have to give up to become president?
Oh, excuse me. Well, seriously, I that's something that's bugged me for years upon years. Is why would you want that? Yeah,
I mean, I guess that, you know, it's like the money thing. Wanting more money, but I don't know.
Why do people want things?
Yeah, I think
because of selfish reasons. You know, I want acceptance. I want control.
Yeah, maybe it's like
Well, Rad, you're not getting that here.
Maybe it's like I'm gonna say this is gonna sound weird. Maybe it's like a tribal thing, because back in the day, like groups and tribes would want more territory in places, and I think that's manifested in the modern day as gardens, in a weird way. And I think maybe that goes further into, like, when you're thinking of political power, like into countries, they want to invade other countries. Maybe that goes even further into supervillains, saying, I don't want just this country, I want the entire planet, or the galaxy, or the universe, or these, like, multi-dimensional empire.
Well, that was strictly for resources, though. If you know, why does one motherfucker, one swinging dick, need an entire world? Why?
so I can subjugate them to my will.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, guys. I actually kind of want to change gears here a little bit. Is that cool?
Sure.
One more bit.
Yeah, of course.
So, as you all know, Doctor Doom is pretty darn good supervillain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there was a thing done in comics where, of all the possible futures in the Marvel universe, for Earth, the only one where Earth is truly peaceful is when Doctor Doom is in charge.
Oh, that's
so. So Doom is actually a good leader. You just have to basically worship him.
No one gave him a chance.
Just give him a chance, man. Just give him a chance.
Dr. Doom for president, 2K16.
Oh,
He's just a dictator with a horribly burnt face and has to wear an iron mask all the time. He's fine.
yeah, just.
Well, speaking of giving things a chance, what about Twitch? Who'd have guessed that you can make money playing video games and people watch you play video games?
Well, okay. Take this from somebody who's worked in broadcasting my entire life. People love watching some crazy shit. Let's look at reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Well, go ahead.
You don't need to tell me about reality TV. I'm from the country that invented Big Brother.
Oh, I'm
Go
so
on.
sorry. Well, it's America created reality TV. Do you remember? Does anybody here remember the very, very, very first reality TV show?
Survivor.
Nope.
Cops.
Nope.
Not a clue.
It goes back
One
even
of-
further.
One of the weird talent shows, like America's Got Talent.
Nope. Real World. On MTV. They stuck 10 strangers in a house and had them live together, and they got to watch them live. That was the very first ever reality show.
I did
And
not know that.
that became to sell like crazy. So to me, a jump to somebody saying, oh, hey, let's watch this guy play a video game is not a huge jump at all. Like, at all.
And JustinTv, which some people may not know, was where Twitch came from.
The
Had a lot
predecessor
of that.
of Twitch.
Yeah, it had a lot of that. It had people just filming themselves doing anything, whatever they wanted. And what happened was Justin grew out of that. Not grew out of that. Twitch grew out of that because what Justin discovered was people really like games. Like, more than any of the other stuff that they were doing, people were flocking to all of the gaming things. And so Twitch was born. And over the course of time, Twitch just became the new place for people to go. They stopped caring about all of the other live streams.
Yep.
And go ahead.
One of the big things is that for somebody like me, who I started out on JustinTv.
Oh, yeah.
I was a viewer. I was a streamer. Don't ask what I did because I don't even remember. But it was that. How long ago was Justin around?
Oh, a couple of years now, at least.
I want to say Justin.tv's been gone 4 years.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good question. I can't remember for the life of me, man. I want to say 4 years.
But
It's been down since August of 2014.
wow.
That's when it was officially shut down.
Wow, so less than I thought. Never mind.
But with me coming from JustinTv, disappearing from it for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden, boom, Justin's gone. What do I do now? And then I seen on Facebook and all that people were sharing Twitch and Twitch.tv and check out this gaming streamer and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, what's this? I go to the website and it's pretty much the exact same thing. They don't allow anything but gaming.
Well,
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 back when they first started.
Yeah, and then for some reason they started letting some odd things in, like cooking. For some reason, was a big early one. They started
Social eating.
Well, that came later, but I'm talking about specifically cooking. Like that was their something that people would do in between games. Like they would take a break to eat. And because they would need to make something, they would just keep streaming. And then people said, hey, let's talk about cooking while the streamer is cooking their food and stuff. And it became kind of an interesting thing. And then one day, Twitch decided, well, let's expand from just pure gaming to something else. And I would say there's a lot of different ones, but I would say Bob Ross
that one still blows my mind.
Probably the biggest. Like that was the moment that Twitch stopped being gaming only and became this new thing, sort of.
Because here's the thing. If Twitch hadn't gone away from strictly gaming to include talk show and talk radios and stuff like that, I wouldn't have exactly the home I have right now, because me coming from a talk radio show past and just talk radio in general, or just radio in general, how about that? I felt really awkward because I had to start up my show. I couldn't do like a little intro segment. I couldn't talk for an hour first. I had to go directly into gaming, or else you could risk getting in trouble. And it just felt wrong. Very, very wrong. And then when I noticed they started being a little more lax with things like this, I was like, all right, cool. I'm down with this. This is awesome. I'm loving this. So now I'm able to do my talk shows and stuff like that. Well, now I'm seeing it go even further, and I'm just going, what the hell is happening at Twitch? And that's when I realized, is Twitch starting to turn back into Justin in a way?
Slowly, maybe?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they like somebody had mentioned, social eating.
Why?
That's a fairly new one. And it's literally just somebody eating on stream and interacting with chat.
Here's the problem with social eating, though, dude. This is my problem with it.
Isn't it a fetish?
Yes, that's exactly it. It's a fetish. I don't know if Twitch realized it when they started it, because there is a segment of people who just want to be able to eat their meal with somebody else while they're eating so they can have a conversation. That's fine. That part I'm not so weirded out about. But there are people who are like, oh, God, yeah. Eat that burger. Get fat, you bitch. This is real. I wish I could tell you I'm joking.
That's all right, Stacy. Watching your stream is my fetish.
Well, no.
Dear God.
Let's just say in my former married life, someone approached my ex and asked them if they could watch her eat, because that was their fetish, to watch someone eat and possibly gain weight in front of them. And I'm like, I go get money. I don't care. But it's just, you just want to look at Twitch. Do you realize the can of worms you opened here, man?
Yeah.
We knew people were fapping and humping while streams are going on, but it wasn't to the streamer. Now it's just like, eat it. Oh yeah.
And now one of the newest. Sorry. And now one of the newest sections that they just come out with is IRL, in real life, where people literally just sit down and talk about their day.
See,
that's vlogging.
Pretty much.
That's what I don't understand. I've been on Twitch pretty much since maybe a year after Twitch came out, when JustinTv was still around.
Yeah.
And when I saw IRL, the first thing that came to mind, to be honest, was people on World of Warcraft or something saying sex, location, and age. And I was like, what is going on here? But then I kind of stopped by a couple of streams that were doing IRL stuff, and it's just like you said, it's just now Twitch is Justin again.
Yes.
So here's my question. What happens when for some reasons Twitch goes down like Justin did? I mean, will it? I don't know where we're going with this. You know what I mean?
Eventually,
they do another hard.
Go ahead.
Sorry, they do another hard reboot, but this time it's all cooking.
Oh God, Hannah would love herself. My friend Mrs. Wild, Mrs._Wild. Her name is Hannah. She would love that, because that would be her forte. But it's just, here's the thing. Like when it comes to IRL, I'm one of the very few people there. Actually, one of the only, that I could think of, that actually decided to set themselves apart from every other IRL streamer. Where when it comes to that, instead of it being just, hey, this is what I did with my day, so I went and took my dog to the park, and then they said this, and no, it's instead I do a full-on show. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So that's one of those things of, I think when it comes to things like that, where it's going to be IRL, the cooking creative, all the creative in general, the game, all of those, the whole thing's going to be defined by the people who set themselves apart from it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you say that, are they going to do a full hard reboot, and eventually it's going to be just cooking? That is a joke, but well, let's.
It's a very big possibility.
Let's look at Twitch. The gaming was huge on Justin. Well, relatively huge until it had a good following on Justin, and that's where Twitch came from. Mm-hmm. Is there a possibility of that happening with people like me who do the in real life, where they actually do a full-on show, or Hannah with her, Mrs. Wild with her cooking, gaming with with Minecraft streamers like Wild or Bacon Donut or Man versus Game when it comes to variety. Yeah, I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is that where this path is going, where eventually we're going to have like 5 or 6 different websites that are all going to be dedicated to their own thing? Or do you think the people at Twitch finally went, you know what, how about we let them all coexist? And this was pretty good before we took down Justin after all. We just have to make sure we don't let people post copyrighted content. We should be fine,
But the thing is, with Twitch and with all of the custom stuff that they're doing, they're making way more money than they ever did with Justin. They just they integrated the bit system. Oh yeah.
See, I love the bit system, but I hate it at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I love it because it gives the viewer a chance to look cool in front of chat. Let's face it, that's a big thing. Because that's the same reason why subbing is so huge, because you get to have the emotes, you get to have the badge, you get to look cool, stuff like that. Well, also it gives you the same exact thing. You can cheer in chat. You can, have bits right on top of your stream or whatever you want, right?
You can give people your bits.
But it's also the situation of it's going to look bad on Twitch, because at that point it's just money flaunting.
Well, wasn't donation the same exact thing?
True. Very true.
All that is Twitch saying we want a chunk of the pie, and I can't blame them. Well, true. More Amazon than Twitch, but that's besides the point. Yeah. I can't blame them. I think they're quite in the right for doing it, and I think it was done very well. But the thing I dislike about it is the fact that if you want, say, to buy $100 worth of bits to cheer on somebody's stream, you're paying a serious chunk of change.
Yep.
And it depends on where you live too, because
really? I didn't hear about that one.
I actually recently purchased some bits, and I paid $130 some odd US, but in some countries it's like $150 to $160. So
is that just taxes, or?
Yeah, there's all kinds of additional things in other countries that they have to take into account,
No shit.
If I were to buy $100 worth of bits in USD, it would cost me in Canadian almost $200 because of the
really $200 friggin' dollars,
because of the conversion rate. Yeah,
because each bit is a single US penny.
Mm-hmm.
Now overseas, it may be, you have to pay $1.10 Canadian, for the $1 American, for example.
And that definitely adds up, which definitely hurts the viewer's pocket.
But the thing is, though, it's helped out the streamer so much because it made it possible for them to stay on air. It's helped out quite a few streamers. There's quite a few streamers I watch who I've stopped watching because they've taken the wrong approach to it. All they do is whine about the money. But it's helped out a lot of streamers because, once again, it makes it so you can, like, there's sometimes some streamers will have a little bit cup where you can have the bits fall into a cup on the stream. You can watch it happen on stream. it encourages people because they want to make things happen on the stream, which I see nothing wrong with, especially if the streamer's okay with it, as long as it's not a mandated thing, because
Twitch plays bits.
Oh, jeez.
My thing is, I wish it wasn't just a subscriber thing. I wish they would open it like a donation system, where non-partnered streamers can still get and receive bits. Think of it like YouTube. You can monetize your videos, and you're getting paid from YouTube, but you're technically not a partner of YouTube.
You're absolutely right, but here's the problem with that. Is with YouTube, you have to have a certain amount of money before you can pull it out. And they still have to do the whole taxes, the blah, 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 blah. With Twitch, with something like that, of that scale, imagine how much they would have to do as far as it goes for taxing you, setting up with the IRS and stuff like that. I don't know how YouTube does it, but as of right now, from what I understand from my partnered friends, the way Twitch does it, they have it all set up already.
Yeah, that's why they only give it to partners, because it's easier to set up with a partner, because you've already signed all the contracts, they have your information, so it's just generally easier. But the evolution of Twitch is something to hopefully look forward to for the non-partnered streamers. Right now, they kind of focus all of their attention on the partners.
Well, understandably
which
so,
makes
because
sense,
they make a lot of money.
But it would be nice to see them do something for the quote little guys, for just because there are some people that are never going to reach, the level of partnership, and they still have a following that wants to do something for them.
Well,
but
that's why third parties have stepped in, such as GameWisp
and Patreon.
Exactly. So,
but what I've realized in the last year or so, toxicity sells.
Don't
like a
get me
motherfucker.
started on this, please. Don't get me started. Okay, you're too late. You're screwed.
We'll have to tune in next week to
No!
see how Stacy feels about toxicity.
This is going to go for about 3 hours. Prepare yourself, folks. Go ahead, grab in, get a blankie, grab yourself some dinner. Let's do this. Now, there are I'm not going to name streamers because, once again, that is incredibly bad taste, and it's just something I will never do. But there are streamers who I've watched before who just start
unneeded drama.
Exactly, unneeded drama, and they drop racial slurs, they drop homophobic slurs, they drop transphobic slurs, stuff like that, just to get their community going, because they know their community loves hate. And that drives me. And there's even to the point where a certain well-known streamer decided it'd be a great idea to fake a swatting. And to anybody who doesn't know what a swatting is, it's where you call the police and say, "Hey, did you know such and such has their kid is holding their kids hostage in their basement and going to kill them? And they live in such and such place." Click. And then you
might I add, that is highly illegal.
Oh yeah, we're talking prison, folks. But then you get to watch this. The cops bust in, throw them to the ground. Ha ha! It's so fucking funny, and it destroys lives. But the problem is, then there was this one streamer who decided to fake it on stream, and guess what? There was a weird rash of swatting on Twitch after this. Funny, huh? Here's the problem. This is my main complaint, was Twitch, instead of taking a very, very strong stance against it, saying this is not okay, they banned him for, I want to say, 4 days to a week at most. That was it.
I think it was 4 days.
And that was it. What did that show? That it's okay for that to happen?
That's, yeah.
Then you go.
It's okay for it to happen, but with minimal repercussions.
Exactly. Exactly. And that just drives me nuts. That hurts my brain when I think about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you say toxicity sells. You're absolutely right. But that's why, streamers like me who work our asses off to not be toxic, to promote positivity in our channels, it hurts us sometimes, because I know if I decide to go the exact opposite and just am an awful human being, people are going to turn in just to watch me destroy people and watch my community try to destroy me over and over and over again. But is that a life worth living? Is that a broadcast worth having? Not by a fucking long shot to me. Yeah, I mean,
that's the unfortunate part, is that there's a lot of people that like that, you know.
Sorry, I feel better, folks. Thank you very much. I got something off my chest. I'll be sending you the bill for the psychiatric help. I don't know, man. It just gets so incredibly draining after a while, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, can we get back into the gaming, please? Let's get off of Twitch, where I get feisty about toxic people.
Them's fighting words.
I need to talk about something that's bothered me for a very long time. Pre-ordering games. And I remember back when pre-ordering had a reason, because you didn't know if there'd be enough carts at the store to be able to play your Super Nintendo game when it came out. Same with the PlayStation game. Even up to PlayStation 2. There was still a reason to. Because you wanted to make sure there'd be enough, of that disc there to be able to play on the first day. But come PS3, a lot of that changed, didn't it, guys?
Yeah, it all changed with the advent of the digital download.
Exactly.
I don't know. The pre-order is now about the bonus.
Exactly.
Like the in-game virtual content bonus,
which will later be sold as DLC 2 months down the line.
Exactly. And if you get the game on sale later, then you usually get it for free, or when it goes, what do you call it? Special platinum edition, where they include everything in one. Yeah, game of the year. Thank you.
Now, here's where the issue comes in, Casual, and I guarantee you're going to agree with me on this because you saw it on Twitch. When games like Batman Arkham Knight come out. Now, I pre-ordered it because I didn't want to buy it that day and download it for the stream, because I was like, I'll just buy the disc, download it, and just play it, right? So I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about the long download times. Oh, wait, even with the disc, you still had to download the entire game. Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Arkham. Thank you, guys. Batman, you guys, was Warner Brothers, you guys did a knockout job. Thank you so much, dicks. But that game was stupid, bro. Well, no, let me take it back. If you bought it on the PS4 or the Xbox One, the game was fantastic. Well, some choice gameplay issues, as in I'm not liking the choices they went with, but the game itself performed fantastically on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But if you were a schmuck like me and going, my PC is way better than any console, I'll play it on PC. You got shafted so hard.
Yep.
Yeah, they actually pulled the game off of Steam, which does not happen very often, and they said we're unhappy, something like we're unhappy with the performance that this game has on the PC, and we're going to pull it and fix it.
And they literally told their customers, you have 6 months, regardless if you've never touched the game or you've beaten it 50 times, you have 6 months to get a full refund.
And that definitely doesn't happen. Case in point, No Man's Sky.
And the game has yet to come back to Steam.
Are you sure? No, it's back to Steam.
Yeah, it came back to Steam, but it took like 6 months or something for it to come back. And you have to wonder, how hard is it when you're making a game to make it for a PC? I mean, I get that there's a lot of different versions of PCs, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Lots of parts and stuff, but I don't know. It's one of those hot button issues, You pre-order something, you expect to be able to play it.
There you go with your second episode in hot buttons.
But you're absolutely right. You order this, it should work right out of the box. It absolutely should. But when you pre-order it and you find out it's a piece of garbage, you're like, wait, so I just dumped what, $90, $100 on a game to make sure I had it on time and it turned out to be garbage? Or they like to do this wonderful little thing where you buy the game, it comes out, and what happens on day one, boys?
10 gigabyte patches.
Exactly.
Just to actually run the game.
You're not allowed to run it unless you get that multiple megabyte patch. So that mean the game wasn't finished? It wasn't ready for release when they released it? They just did it just to get it out? Or?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. That's one of the problems with AAA gaming nowadays is that it used to be that because a game was going to come out on a console, mostly, they had to make it right. They couldn't mess it up because there wasn't any way for them to fix it once it came out. And if it came out broken, everybody would just say, well, this game is broken, nobody buy it. And nobody would.
Bubsy 3D, perfect example.
But the problem is, and you stated it yourself, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era.
Yeah.
This brought in the ability to update your console and update your games online. And once they did that, game developers started realizing, well, we don't actually have to fix everything right away. We can just kind of make it as good as we can. And if there's something wrong, we'll let the players figure it out.
Now, don't get me wrong. The whole updating of a game, if something's broken, it's fantastic. That's awesome. That needs to be there. That's been needed for a long time. That's amazing. But it shouldn't be a crutch. It shouldn't be like, we can get away with it. That should be only if necessary.
Absolutely.
It's not a crutch. That's the worst part. It's just a shoe. They just put on their they don't make games to near completion anymore. They make it to near beta. And then they say, good enough. Let's release it, see what people think, and fix whatever's broken.
So the release for all the customers, they are the beta testers.
Yeah, pretty much. The early adopters, the pre-orders.
And they don't really have to optimize it because it's like, well, people bought it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It also doesn't help that
pre-order. Don't encourage this.
Right.
It also doesn't help that they reach out to streamers, YouTubers to say, hey, we'll pay you X amount of money if you hype the shit out of our new game coming out.
And to be fair, sometimes a word gets thrown around a lot. Sellout. Now, this word is incorrectly thrown out a lot of the time.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely.
Stacy's the biggest sellout out of them all.
You have no idea.
A sellout. To be considered a sellout, you have to sell a product or attempt to sell a product that you don't believe in. Now, there are plenty of streamers out there that do sell a product and do get sponsors and get free games, but they like it. And people will still call them a sellout. They're not sellouts. They like what they like, and somebody's giving it to them for free.
That's the same exact people that look at their favorite bands and say they're a sellout because they decided to change their music some. Same exact thing. No, they didn't sell out. They just chose to change their music because they really enjoy playing this particular type of music. They chose to sell this product because they really believe truly in this product. I mean, there's going to be people like a certain game company that sells games online that we talked about I think we talked about in the last podcast, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
G2A.
Oh, yeah, them.
Oh no, actually, I think that was on your stream the day.
We didn't talk about that.
Right.
Oh, next week. Somebody, for the love of Christ, remind me of this. This is a rant and a half.
Yeah, that's definitely for another podcast, possibly a whole podcast.
Right? But people don't believe in them. They just looked at the streamer and said, hey, you got lots of people. Put this on there. We'll give you free shit. Okay. We'll give you a section. We'll give you a chunk of what people buy through your link. Okay. They never bothered buying through the site ever before. They'd have no idea what the site is. They just know the site's going to give them money. That is the true definition of a sellout. A sellout saying, hey, I believe in AMD, or hey, I believe in NVIDIA, so I'm going to back them up. Sure, they're going to give me free stuff, but I believe in their products, and I would use it anyway. That's just, well, frankly, doing what you're supposed to do as a broadcaster.
That's just good business.
Exactly, man. Like, if AMD approached me and said, hey, we want you to promote our new processors, I'd be like, where do I sign? I believe in the product. I've loved their product for a very long time. You know, that's the exact type of thing. That's all there is to it. I would be more than happy to promote it.
This podcast not sponsored by AMD, unfortunately.
Just saying, if AMD, just saying, I rant about how awesome you guys are on stream and all that without you needing to pay me. Just say, if you want to help me out with this processor that's coming out, I'm more than willing to run them in both my game machines. Just throw them out there, guys. Okay, just I'll put your emblem on my stream.
Stacy's a sellout.
As I said, Stacy's the biggest sellout of them all.
Exactly. Now, you know, another thing that is bothering me about gaming is crafting. Now, there's certain
the crafting fad.
Fad. That's exactly it. Now, there's some games that need crafting. Especially when it's in their friggin' name, like Minecraft. You expect that there.
Yeah.
But did you really expect them in games like Fallout 4 or really every friggin' game coming out nowadays?
Yes. Here's the interesting thing about the evolution of games lately. There were games for I want to say jocks, but let's face it, they didn't play games back then. But like earlier on at Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You mentioned Call of Duty. There's a certain type of gamer that plays Call of Duty, especially the multiplayer. Those players used to just play the first person shooters, and they would kill people. It'd be great for them, whatever. Mm-hmm. But over time, certain things started bleeding into that type of gameplay, and it's all the RPG element. Those RPG elements, including crafting, are now a part of literally every game. I mean, I can't think of a game that doesn't have some sort of leveling mechanic or you know.
I hate when you're right, but you are. And this is coming from a guy like me who's a hardcore RPG freak. Like, I remember all the old JRPGs and even the newer RPGs. I've been obsessed with them. I love RPGs. They're like, which is a role-playing game, folks, in case you didn't understand what the moniker were. We're not talking about rocket-propelled grenades. We're talking about role-playing games. I love an RPG element. But there's some games where I don't know if they truly fit along with the crafting, you know?
A game that I found that actually really fit well with the crafting and the RPG element is Dead Island. I actually enjoyed that game. A lot of people
Dead Island was very interesting. I liked it because it was a different take. Yeah, I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Dying Light did it better, though.
I never played. I'm going to play that soon. But Dead Island, the only complaint I had about Dead Island was the sickness value, where they didn't have a FOV slider, so I ended up getting sick quite a bit playing it.
Oh yeah.
But that's me in every game I play, really.
Stacey, I'm going to say something, and you're probably going to disagree with this, but I feel that the crafting element fit well in Fallout 4.
Really?
Well, I'll say this.
I would agree.
I'll say this. What I didn't like about Fallout 4 was the constant fucking attacks on your settlements.
Okay.
And having to help this settlement and having to help that settlement. That really fucking annoyed me, but I felt like in a post-apocalyptic world where you need to gather resources and build shelters for your communities and like fashion guns out of like, basically pipes and whatever you can find, I think that fit quite well into the story.
Okay, well, you know what? I totally agree, actually. You are 1,000,000% right about that. It's just, I guess I was so used to Fallout as it was. The gameplay I was expecting from it, where I was like, what was this? But you're absolutely right about the what it's supposed to be and how it usually is. You're 1,000,000% right. That's what it should be. That it does fit very well into it. I guess maybe my main issue was it just didn't feel right. Where you, it felt sludgy, it felt really sluggish, and it just, when I go, I want to play Fallout. That means I want to go raid vaults. I want to go collect all this cool stuff. I want to go take over towns, you know, become the king of the wasteland or whatever. I don't want to rebuild the town and build grandma a chair. That's just never been something I wanted. I've never once thought in a Fallout game, gee, I wonder if grandma needs a chair. I've never once thought that, you know?
Well, and that goes into what element of the RPGs are we looking for in our games? You obviously are not looking for the settlements and the crafting portion.
Yeah.
But some of us, like myself included, I liked it because, especially if you play Fallout 4 on survival, which is a difficulty in the game, it really makes you feel like you're in a post-apocalyptic world. Food is hard to come by and that's not irradiated. Water is really necessary. You have to sleep. You have to, you have to do all these things. And the settlements give you the ability to make yourself self-sufficient and allow you that ability to say, could I survive in the wasteland?
You know, I hate it when you guys are right. I really hate it when you guys are right, but you are.
Hey, Stacy, guess what?
Oh.
We're right.
I'm going to choke somebody. I'm going to turn to Wayne Brady and have to choke a bitch.
You just say stroke a bitch?
Well,
one or the other.
Robbie, I mean, if you'd come over from the UK, we could talk, but not right now, my friend. Not right now. We're broadcasting.
Dear God.
Oh, geez, Louise. All right, guys. I think we've talked about everything we need to talk about today, right?
I mean, we could keep talking, but people are going to start tuning out.
Yeah.
Well, okay, how about this? Let's talk about one last thing that'll be quick for us. I think it'll be just a quick rundown. Let's kind of get our own vote on this. PS2 and what was that?
So I'm just saying it's hard for people to listen to the podcast when we never finish it.
Right. PlayStation 2 and GameCube game era games. Are those considered retro?
When did the PS2 come out?
Yes.
You think so?
PS2 came out in 2001, I want to say.
Oh, wow, that was a while ago.
Am I that old where I go that doesn't feel old to me?
I would say
retro.
I don't think there is a standard. I think it's just at a certain point, things just get old enough that what was on there is now retro.
Antiquated and janky, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, is there like a certain point, like when things like become an antique, like a certain number of years?
I don't know. Like for a car, they have an actual standard. It's 25 years. And then any car that's 25 years old is considered classic. I don't think it works that way in gaming, but I will say you wouldn't consider the last generation of consoles to be retro.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Oh, God, no.
But
maybe 2 generations, but...
Yeah, 2, 3 generations? Yeah. I mean, it's really old by then, especially in technology terms.
I know, it's just I remember playing the PS1 when it came out, so it's just I kind of have a hard time calling that retro. Like I remember playing. I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII on stream now, and it just doesn't feel old. It still feels current to me. You know what I mean?
You just don't like it because it makes you feel old again.
Shut your whore mouth.
I was gonna say we have an ancient talking with us right now.
Casual, I think me and you need our canes. Let's leave, man.
I prefer the term antique. It sounds classier.
Oh, listen to your elders, boys.
Boy.
No, but oh no, man. I want to say yes, but I think it's a lot of it's me like fighting back, going, "That's not old. What are you talking about? You know, I'm not old yet." I still feel mentally 12. You know.
I would say when the current generation of gamers doesn't even know that a particular gamer system existed, you officially can call it retro.
You know what, GG, you won that one. Yeah, in that case, I take it back. PS2 and GameCube are retro then. I remember talking
this generation.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This generation, like generation below me, will never know what it's like gaming on a GameCube and the vibration of the GameCube controller. And
oh yes,
the physics of just those games.
And those cute little discs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those things got chucked around the room so much when it was a bad game. It became a frisbee, man. It was like, look how small it is. Ninja Star.
Did you blame it on the dog again farting?
No,
Kids.
maybe.
Don't put your discs in the microwave, no matter how cool it looks.
Oh, God, I've done that a couple times.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Stacy! What, Mom? Why does the microwave work? The dog farted. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. All of you, not just you guys for listening here, sitting here talking to you for, all of you who sat here and listened to us jabber on about our favorite thing in the world, nerdom and geekdom stuff. Really, am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You all are amazing, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Stacy Krugger. Who are you guys?
I don't know if I'm casually challenged.
RadHazard won, but that's what the people in white coats tell me.
I forget who I am, but these guys keep calling me Robbie, so I'll go with that.
And I just woke up from a grave one day and started walking around, and I guess I'm here.
Wah,
Known as Undead.
wah, wah.
Oh, shut up!
Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the Odd Pod, episode 3. We'll see you next Saturday. Well, we'll record next Saturday. You'll hear it when you hear it. Deal with it. I love you guys. Take care, everyone.
Bye.